quite correct. I wish you could have seen a smile on his face as he was watching you give us that breakdown of the company. But the man himself, Whitey Basson, Chief Executive of Shoprite, is with us today. Whitey, let's touch on the war that Dumi described there. It does seem as though South Africa is the sore spot regarding your operation so far.
Dumi's done a nice job. She's at least looked at the areas that is critical and is important to us. But yes, there's a shift. We're very worried about the 2% growth rate of South Africa. It has got not problems for Shoprite in terms of its trading, but certainly in terms of its capacity to expand fast enough. We see lesser property developments. I think we're at the lowest for 2016 year for the next 24 months that we've been. But I'm not that negative about it. I think that there may be a coming back to a more realistic growth rate if all the plans of government works out, and if a lot of the people in private industry supports the plans and actually gets down to the most crucial factor that we have, and that's unemployment.
Maybe let's touch on unemployment, because that's a key issue when it comes to the African environment. We've heard about the turmoil that you've experienced in Tanzania, where your license was revoked, as well as in Zambia, where labor again was a key issue and you needed to increase your payment there towards your workers. But is that environment becoming slightly more attractive, or still again quite challenging?
No, if you look at Tanzania was just a situation that we couldn't compete with all the problems that we had, from borders to wherever it was. In terms of Zambia, we were very happy that the minimum, it was actually the minimum wages for the country that was lifted, and that benefited us the most, because we're the first point of entry for that money to come back into circulation. So that was not really a major problem. In fact, I think it was very good for Shoprite, and Zambia has done exceptionally well for us.
What about Kenya?
I'm not a Kenyan fan at the moment, because we've never been able to do a successful deal in Kenya for the last 15 years. So it's not on our radar screens. It has got a better infrastructure than most African countries, but I think it doesn't have the same potential as the Nigerias, Angolas, DRCs.
Why not?
I think you have a major rich countries with lots of oil and rather underdeveloped retail structures or business structures, which is now being exploited, or first-time user structures. And if you go into a place like Angola, you will probably see all the airports have been not just redone, rebuilt in 3 or 4 years. Cities have risen with 3,000-4,000 houses, with new gas fields that were uncovered. And I think it's just something exceptional that is happening on the African continent, especially in the western portion of it, which is the first time that Africa develops in reasonably good clusters, where you can put down more than one single store or 2 stores and really go for like 100 stores like in Nigeria. So
in Nigeria, is that going to be the key area of focus now with regard to capital expansion?
Well, Nigeria has got 150 million people. It grows at 8%. So if you find me a better place, I'll go there with you.
But if Nigeria is that attractive then from a regulatory perspective, and maybe from a product line perspective, because speaking to some analysts, they say that a lot of the locals there want something that they're familiar with. Are you finding it difficult to introduce South African or different brands to that market, or are you seeking partnerships with the local brands?
No, you don't have to have a partner to supply you with brands. I mean, we don't have partners in South Africa. You can buy from wherever you wish to. And yes, we run every country with our computers. We can literally run it per branch as to what they want, be that branch in a specific category of eating habits. So that's not a problem for us. Which is quite nice, is that Nigeria has got good manufacturing capacity already. Maybe not as sophisticated as South Africa, but certainly has got the capacity to manufacture. And currently, I think we're probably up in the high 70% of local buying and imports from Europe, rather than from South Africa's 30%.
Okay, well, your notes are coming in handy, and you're not using your Shoprite specs, but maybe if you walk us through the different regions. You mentioned that Kenya and East Africa is not so positive.
Yeah.
Nigeria is a strong growth point.
Well, I think you can ignore most of the regions because of the size of them, but Angola, Nigeria, Ghana and Zambia would be probably the 4 regions that accounts for the majority of the whatever 911 or nearly R1 billion worth of profit.
Well, we're happy to know that you know your numbers very well, as a CEO is supposed to. But coming slightly closer to home, it was interesting to know that one of your furniture outlets did a lot better, despite the fact that this does address the smaller consumer market, the lower LSM group. This is a big contrast compared to what we've seen with Ellerines.
Yes, it is in contrast. I can't comment on Ellerine's business, if it's well run, badly run, or why they got themselves into that. But I think we've always taken the view in OK Furniture that we'd rather lose a sale than have a bad sale. What worries me in the long term is, you know, is it really a function of Ellerines that you can blame them for mismanagement or whatever the case may be, or is it the function that there are just many people in South Africa who hasn't got income and are not paying their debts? Because normally my experience has been most people are honest and they do try and repay their debts unless they can't. And the fact at the moment is most of those guys can't repay their debts because they have very or no income.
Would you buy Ellerines given the chance?
I can never say that. You know, it's tomorrow is tomorrow.
Tomorrow's tomorrow? So no expansions on the furniture front for the moment?
No, you know, I'm asleep tonight still, and maybe tomorrow something happens. My chairman phones me and tells me to do something, and then I lied to you tonight, so I don't know.
Okay, so be honest with us to now, Whitey. You're 60 years of age. You've been in this game for a very long time.
Do
you not
we're
get
sitting
tired?
here, we're not buying Ellerines.
As you're sitting here, you're not buying Ellerines?
No.
But maybe that might change tomorrow.
May change tomorrow in
we'll
a
call
week's
you
time
every
or a
day.
year's time. You can call me, but I don't know. It's not a function that we can say, because I think that, you know, the whole Ellerine situation is quite complicated. It's a big business. It's got a bank with a trading operation attached to it. So it's not just a small decision of buying a company like you bought OK Bazaars. You knew what you were buying. This is a big business. And
to shareholders who are clearly not impressed with your numbers today following the share price dipping, any words of encouragement to them?
No, they probably wanted me to invest in Ellerines.
Maybe they're happy that you didn't, and hopefully that will see the share price go up.
It's just a question of the options that they must choose. I think as time goes on, I think we won't be regarded as the worst of the performers in the supermarket industry. And I think that the foundations that Shoprite has laid over the last year will only serve future shareholders very well. So maybe we get new shareholders, but we have X number of shares out there and they all will be taken up.
Spoken like a true, confident Chief Executive, Whitey. Such a pleasure speaking to you. That was the Shoprite Chief Executive, Whitey Basson.